Your psychology has to be right. You can't have the psychology that like I know something or I know things and things like that. So like a Ganesh-like approach is required. The Ganesh attitude is actually an attitude of that thing that I don't know anything. It is not the attitude of I know something. All people who are in the world right now, they always think that they know something when they don't really know anything. Like until you know how to live, how to die, and how to get to this mortal world, do you know what I'm saying? You don't really know anything. Unless you know these things, how come you know anything? Just not knowing some things like enough to make a living out here. That's not knowing anything. But people are always under that delusion that they know something. And that's what keeps their ego in place and everything. People always think that they know something. And this whole ego of knowing is a psychological hurdle.
When a person is born here on earth, they're not born a clean slate. They are born with a lot of karmas from past life. So there are a lot of actions you have done already, so many things for millions of years. Then you have that tendency. Okay, so when you were born, you are carrying those impressions. So when you are born again, it gives you a chance, because you are in that child state again, like where you don't know. Again, you are faced with a situation you don't know. You have to utilize that and not let the past impressions come in the way of like taking you away from that. Where that innocence which you feel in the beginning, that's sacred. You have to value that. That's why it's called Ganesh in the Vedic thing. It's the Mooladhara root chakra. Amansa chakra is called the root chakra, the Mooladhara. It's Ganesh. Ganesh is a child principle, like the childness, like childlikeness, the innocence. Everybody's given that in the beginning. The only enemy of that is the past impressions and past karmas which you have had in the past. So you have to use that to rise above that. And even if those karmas come into play right now and give you impressions and a certain sense of being, you say, okay, it's like this. Okay, I have this thing, or I have this thing, I have that thing. Okay, but I'm going to work because I don't know. So I'm going to try and find out, and I'm going to work towards it. Okay, you have to do that honest thing. It'll only hurt your ego. Only thing which is going to get hurt in all of this is your ego. No, nothing else will get hurt. Okay.
I'm telling you the attitude you need to have. Attitude you need to have is that of a child. You have to be like a Ganesh. What is child? Ganesh. That's why you say Sri Ganesh. When you start anything, you start by Ganesh. Why? What does that mean? It doesn't mean that you just go in front of something and just throw some flowers at some Ganesh statue, and that's not what it is. It's an attitude. There are 4 attitudes: innocence, auspiciousness, devotion to the mother principle. These are Ganesha's attitudes. First, you have to be like a child. Right now people are not like a child. Even when I see 4-year-old kids, 5-year-old kids, they're not like children. They know too much about this world. They're already trying to attract attention. They're trying to do all kind of nonsense. They're trying to get things out of their parents. All this thing. You can't be like that and get knowledge. It's the wrong pathway. That is the pathway to hell. That's the door to Nark.
Ganesh has the basic qualities: auspiciousness, wisdom, devotion to the mother principle. And these are its basic qualities of Ganesh. That childlike innocence inside of a being. When you're 3 or 4 years old, like when you're like at that time, if you are a real child, your first questions will be, who am I? Where am I? What is all this? Those will be your basic questions. And you will try to find the answers of that. Now that basic innocence is required.